Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle on Global Television, coming to you from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Shehu Said. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV, channel 365 and StarTimes, channel 276. Senate has confirmed the service chiefs appointed by President Bola Tinubu. The confirmation followed the screening of the Chief of Defense Staff and the service chiefs in Abuja. Topsy Gimba has the details.
The nominees were Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede as Chief of Defense Staff, Major General Wadi Shaibu, Chief of Army Staff, Rear Admiral Idi Abbas, Chief of Naval Staff, and Air Vice Marshal Sunday Kelvin Aneke, Chief of Air Staff. Speaking before the nominees were screened, the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, said only a few questions will be asked and they will go into a closed-door session to interact with the service chiefs on national security matters not meant for the public knowledge.
On issues of communities that are ravaged by banditry, terrorism, or Boko Haram. And that, security is something we should discuss behind closed doors so that we will not be misquoted.
The first to take the podium was the Chief of Defense Staff, CDS, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, where he presented his records in the service. He said, as a former Chief of Army Staff, he is aware of the challenges facing the Army and its operations. He called on Nigerians to join hands together to fight insurgency.
It's important for the nation to empower the police, make it stronger, make it more formidable, so that they can do their job.
He was followed by the Chief of Army Staff, Major General Wadi Shehu, where he presented his records while serving in various military operations, particularly in the northeast region of Nigeria. He said in the course of his operations, over 442 terrorists were neutralized and various weapons were recovered. He assured Nigerians that more will be achieved in the fight against terrorism and banditry in the country.
I have been privileged to have various honors and awards ranging from the Military Service Star, the Grand Service Star, that culminated with the Field Command Medal, Field Command Medal of Honor, and the Nigerian Army Outstanding Operation Medals.
Also standing at the podium was the Rear Admiral Idi Abbas, Chief of Naval Staff. He said he has served in various capacities and pledged to do more in his new role to free Nigeria waterways from criminal elements.
To my mind, may remind relatives and family members of those that they have named to think in another direction.
The Chief of Air Staff, Air Vice Marshal Sunday Kelvin Aneke, presented his records of service as an air officer.
Their liberties and aspirations through the instrument of air power in conjunction and synergy with both my colleagues in the military and the other security organizations.
Many senators asked questions. Among them were Muhammad Mungunu Bononov, Issa Jebre Kogi and Abdul Ningi Bochi Central.
With the latest being 6 Super Tucanos at the cost of $1.2 billion US.
For appointing General W. Shaibu as the Chief of Army Staff. He has taken this job as a do-or-die affair.
After the screening exercise, the Senate went into a closed-door session with the service chiefs. Topsy Gimba reporting for Global Television News.
Meanwhile, the Nigerian Armed Forces have witnessed a major transition in leadership as the outgoing Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, officially handed over to his successor, General Olusegun Oluyede. The ceremony, which took place at the Defense Headquarters in Abuja, marks the beginning of a new phase in the country's military leadership. Ubong Usoro reports.
The brief but symbolic handover ceremony brought together senior military officers, defense chiefs, and top government officials. In his farewell remarks, the outgoing Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, expressed gratitude to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for the opportunity to serve and commended officers and men of the armed forces for their dedication, loyalty, and professionalism. He highlighted the collective achievements of his tenure, including improved interagency coordination, enhanced troop welfare, and strengthened counter-insurgency operations, while urging continued unity and commitment to the security of the nation.
And for the peace and unity of our great nation. I will definitely miss you all, but I remain with you all in spirit. The journey continues, the mission endures, the duty never ends. Thank you for the honor of a lifetime. Long live the Armed Forces of Nigeria. Long live President. Goodbye and thank you very much.
In his acceptance speech, the new Chief of Defense Staff, General Olusegun Oluyode, pledged to build on the foundation led by his predecessor. He assured Nigerians of the military's unwavering commitment to national peace, unity, and territorial integrity. General Oluyode emphasized the importance of intelligence sharing, technology-driven operations, and joint task force collaboration in addressing Nigeria's evolving security challenges.
Under my leadership, the defense headquarters will continue to advocate for improved welfare, housing, medical support, and training opportunities for personnel and their families. We shall also invest in the moral and psychological well-being of our troops, ensuring that the sacrifices are recognized and rewarded.
The handover ceremony ended with a formal signing of documents and a symbolic transfer of command, marking a new chapter in the leadership of the Nigerian Armed Forces. Ubong Usoro, reporting for Global Television.
The federal government has announced the shortlist of candidates for recruitment into the Immigration Service, Civil Defense, Correctional Service, and Federal Fire Service. According to the Civil Defense, Correctional, Fire, and Immigration Services Board, applicants are to visit the recruitment website from October 30 to confirm their status and access details of their computer-based tests. The board's secretary, Major General Abdul Malik Jibril, cautioned candidates against fraudsters and urged them to rely solely on official updates from the website. There was mild drama at the National Assembly as officials of the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, staged a walkout during an investigative hearing of the House Committee on Basic Education and Examination Bodies. The inquiry, chaired by Oboku Ofoji, was convened to scrutinize JAMB's 2023 and 2024 budget performance, its remittances to the federal government, as well as bank statements detailing revenue inflows and expenditures. National Assembly correspondent Aniete Patrick reports.
Although the registrar, Professor Ishaq Oloyede, was invited to appear in person, he delegated a director, Muftak Bello, to represent him. However, the atmosphere quickly turned tense after Bello requested that journalists be excused from the session, claiming the documents to be presented contained sensitive information. The lawmakers insisted that the proceedings must remain public, citing the constitutional mandate of parliamentary transparency. The refusal triggered the JAMB team to rise and walk out of the meeting, a move that lawmakers describe as disrespectful and an affront to parliamentary oversight.
It's not the right for JAMB representative to say they want a meeting closed door and that they want to see the chairman in camera. These are the things that they put the National Assembly members into trouble. Why must you see the chairman behind doors? We like being open because this is public money.
Chairman Ofoji condemned the action as unfortunate and unacceptable, warning that such conduct would not hinder the legislature from performing its constitutional duty of ensuring accountability in the management of public funds. Other lawmakers, including Awaje Inombek Abiante, Billy Osaworu, Maria Ebikake, and Rodney Amobiwo, also criticized the decision to stage a walkout, insisting that public institutions must remain accountable to the Nigerian people through the legislature.
The National Assembly has requested that JAMB should furnish us with certain details of the income and expenditure, including whatever sources of revenue that they have gotten.
It's unheard of where an agency will come in for us to oversight an agency, then the authority, the agency will tell us that, sorry, we would like to see you in private.
The committee consequently issued a summons directing the JAMB registrar to appear before it with his full management team by next Tuesday or face sanctions in accordance with Section 88 and 89 of the 1999 Constitution. From the National Assembly, Anie T. Patrick, reporting for Global TV News.
As Nigerians gear up for the Anambra governorship election on November 8, a major technological breakthrough is set to redefine how election results are reported. Soft Smart Enterprise Solutions has unveiled an AI-driven electoral results platform that promises real-time transparency and instant updates across broadcast and digital channels. Our correspondent Sadia Yakubu has the details.
For the first time in Nigerians' electoral history, election night coverage will be powered by artificial intelligence delivering verified results in real time. Managing Director of Soft Smart Enterprise Solutions, Charles Goriola Yakubu, says the system will automatically read and upload official result sheets to a secure database within seconds, instant displaying outcomes on the live television dashboards and online scoreboards as they appear on INEC's IREF portal.
What we're here to do today is first to introduce you to a breakthrough technology that our company developed. For the first time on Saturday, by the grace of God, we will tell you, we will project who will win that election by 8-9 as a result of this our technology. You don't need to have your agents in the polling units. All you need is subscribe to our system and your party headquarters, right? And monitor the elections.
Yakubu explains that each result form is processed in under 30 seconds with over 95% accuracy, compressing what used to take days into mere moments. He says the innovation is designed to restore public confidence by making results collation transparent, visible, and verifiable, reducing post-election disputes and tensions. The AI platform also integrates interactive storytelling tools, allowing anchors and analysts to showcase candidate profiles, party histories, and public highlights, turning raw data into compelling insight for viewers. Beyond live results, the system includes an electoral night analytics, mirroring international broadcast standards, and giving Nigerians not just numbers, but context, empowering informed commentary and trust in electoral reporting. Sadia Yakubu, reporting for Global Television News.
The KUKA Center, in partnership with the Benue State government, is set to train 200 personnel of the Benue State Civil Protection Guards. The move aims to strengthen community security and promote accountable service delivery. Benue State correspondent Felicity Ndere has the details.
The KUKA Center is teaming up with the Benue State government to train 200 personnel from the Benue State Civil Protection Guards. The goal is to boost community security and promote accountability.
Whose administration prioritizes peace building, inclusive governance, and people-centered development.
The project manager of the KUKA Center says the initiative is part of efforts to improving community security for accountability service delivery, which focuses on capacity building, institutional reform, and standard procedures for the Civil Protection Guards.
The thinking of the KUKA Center through the Strengthening Peace and Resilience in Nigeria program is to first associate herself with the successes that have been recorded and then contribute to strengthening the operations of these security outfits by way of strengthening the legal frameworks that establish them, as well as providing specialized training.
The stakeholders are on board with the traditional institutions, praising the involvement in security planning.
The input made by all of you sent to the government and the governor implements some of these things. It may work, but as I've said, the issue of security in Benue State is very complicated. We don't know why it so persists, but in spite of what the government's intention have been and so on, but it continues.
For me, I am very happy, and I'm happy that today I'm part of this team that is going to improve on the law and make it workable in future.
However, legal analysts are calling for reforms, especially regarding funding, welfare and accountability mechanisms.
The essence of analyzing the law, doing this assessment, is to see the gaps in the law that needs to be strengthened so that the civil protection guard are properly positioned for them to be more effective and efficient in carrying out their responsibilities as outlined in the law.
The project is supported by Strengthening Peace and Resilience in Nigeria, Spring Program, an initiative of the UK's Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, implemented by Tetra Tech International Development and executed by the Kukah Center. In Makurdi, Felicity Ndere, reporting for Global Television News.
You are watching the live broadcast of News Cycle. When News Cycle returns, curfew declared in Tanzania after election protests. Details coming to you shortly, plus business and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us. And we open the second segment with business, where President Bola Tinubu has approved the introduction of a 15% ad valorem import duty on petrol and diesel imports into Nigeria. The initiative is aimed at protecting local refineries and stabilizing the downstream market, but it is likely to raise pump prices. In a letter addressed to the Federal Inland Revenue Service and the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, President Tinubu has directed immediate implementation of the tariff as part of what the government described as a market-responsive import tariff framework. And the federal government has approved 758 billion naira in bonds to offset long-standing pension liabilities, including pension increases owed since 2007. The Director General of the National Pension Commission, Omolola Oloworaran, disclosed this in Yola at a 2-day sensitization workshop on the workings of the contributory pension scheme for employees and pensioners in the Northeast. Oloworaran, represented by the Commissioner for Administration in PENCOM, Alhaji Bello Mukhtar, Alhaji Bello Abubakar, described the approval as a bold step by President Tinubu to bring relief to vulnerable pensioners and restore confidence in the pension system. She said the workshop formed part of ongoing reforms to enhance awareness and deepen understanding of the CPS among retirees and other stakeholders. The House of Representatives has approved President Bola Tinubu's request to secure over $2.3 billion from the international capital market to partly finance the 2025 budget deficit and refinance Nigeria's maturing Eurobonds. The lawmakers also gave the nod for the federal government's debut sovereign sukuk issuance of up to $500 million as part of a new external borrowing plan amounting to 1.84 trillion naira to support the 9.27 trillion naira budget shortfall. National Assembly correspondent Anita Patrick reports.
The President's request is titled Request for the Resolution of the National Assembly to Implement New External Borrowing in the 2025 Appropriation Act, refinance maturing Eurobonds, and issue debt sovereign sukuk in the international capital market. Tinubu said the purpose of the letter was to seek resolution of the Senate pursuant to the provisions of Section 21, Subsection 1 and 27, Subsection 1 of the Debt Management Office Established Act 2023 to implement the new external borrowing of 1.84 trillion naira, equivalent to USD $1.22 at the budget exchange rate of USD 1.00/1.5 US dollars in the 2025 Appropriation Act for the part financing of the budget deficit. He said the facility will be assessed through any of the following channels in the international capital market, ICM, issuance of the Eurobonds, loan syndications, budget finance facility from the book runners, and direct borrowing from the international financial institution. He also requested a resolution to issue a stand-alone debt sovereign sukuk of up to $5 million in the ICM without credit enhancements guaranteed. He therefore invited the Senate to approve the loan. The loan was referred to the Senate Committee on Loans, Local Foreign Debts. Topsy Gimba reporting for Global TV News.
The report was actually by Topsy Gimba and not by Aniete Patrick. We move to the foreign scene where Tanzania's commercial capital Dar es Salaam has been placed under curfew after violent post-election protests left dozens injured and many feared dead following the exclusion of key opposition candidates from the polls. Security forces fired gunshots and tear gas to disperse protesters who torched vehicles and public offices as internet access across the country remains cut off in what monitors describe as a nationwide digital blackout. Civil servants and students have been ordered to stay home while the government remains silent amid reports of rising censorship, arrests of opposition figures, and growing international concern over the arrest. And we move to sports, where the Super Eagles will open camp on November 10 in Rabat, Morocco, ahead of their 2026 FIFA World Cup playoff clash against Gabon. The Nigeria Football Federation confirmed the matches will hold between November 13 and 16, with the winners of Nigeria, Gabon, and Cameroon, DR Congo advancing to the final. CAF says a draw will determine which Rabat Stadium will host the semi-finals, as NFF President Ibrahim Gusau assures of the team's readiness. And the Nigeria Judo Federation has joined the global judo community in commemorating this year's World Judo Day with a fitness walk and advocacy campaign in Abuja. The event, which held at the old parade ground, highlighted the values of peace, unity, and discipline, key principles that define the sport. Aniete Patrick reports.
It was a colorful display of sportsmanship and community engagement as judokas marched through parts of Abuja to mark World Judo Day 2025. Each year, October 28 is specifically set aside to celebrate the life and legacy of judo founder Professor Jigoro Kano. This year's theme, Peace, resonates deeply with Nigeria's social landscape. President of the Nigerian Judo Federation, Dr. Musa Oshodi, urged Nigerians to embrace peace and mutual understanding as the foundation for national development. Represented by the Secretary General of the Federation, Jude Atta, he encouraged judokas to uphold the core values of respect, discipline, and togetherness both on and off the mat. He added that judo is not only a sport, but a way of life, teaching humility, courage, and cooperation.
Because ever since he came in as the president of this country, he has not just revamped sports, he has tried to reposition sports, and we are ready to key in to support our own way to make sure judo in the next Olympics will be there fully. That is our aim and target.
The event also featured training drills and demonstrations symbolizing the role of judo in strengthening harmony within communities. Meanwhile, the president assured that the federation remains committed to advancing the sport across states and nurturing champions who represent Nigeria proudly on the global stage. Aniete Patrick reporting for Global TV News.
And as the countdown to the 27th Nigeria University Games NUGA 2025 intensifies, presidential candidate of Labour Party in the 2023 elections, Peter Obi, has pledged his support for the Games to be hosted by the University of Jos. He made the pledge when the local organizing committee of the NUGA 2025 paid him a courtesy visit in Abuja. Ramsey Enoch Agbo reports.
The visit is part of an effort to promote the game of sport among Nigerians of all categories, which will build up a hub for sports development at all levels. The 2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, pledged his commitment and support for the National University Games, that is NUGA 2025, which is scheduled to hold from the 6th to the 16th of November in Jos, Plateau State.
Sports remains a critical component of our development. Sports today, as everybody knows, in all parts of the world, have become an engine of growth because jobs, employment, careers of people, it goes a long way in unifying any place, especially in Nigeria.
The chairman of the organizing committee, Goshen Bella, during the visit gave a breakdown of the activities and infrastructural setup for the smooth running of the games.
As being a lover of sports, and you have passion for youth in the country, we're here also to honor you as an ambassador of the games. In a nutshell, the game has a lot of benefits for the youths of Nigeria. And most importantly, there are other legacy projects that would outlive the games. Notably among them is that infrastructure, which is being built and is ongoing. It's going to host any international tournament.
Ramsey Enoch reporting for Global TV News.
And as we conclude news cycle, a quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using @GlobalTVNG. I'm Shehu Said, once again saying have a pleasant evening.